All right, today we're talking about Robocop. And what better time to talk about Robocop than the 30th anniversary that's pretty much today, or at least the time this video is coming out. But regardless, yeah, today we're going to be talking about the theory that has been confirmed by the director himself.
So why are we even here then? It's kind of like that Blade Runner Ridley Scott thing. We should just...
And then they come back. Regardless, we're still going to be talking about, because, I mean, what better way to honor this film than talk about, well, its origin, essentially. Because, well, let's just get to the theory.
Robocop is American Jesus.
All right, now before we continue, spoilers. We're going to be spoiling the movie, so if you haven't seen Robocop, get the hell out of here and go watch Robocop. If you're too young to watch Robocop,
Sneak Robocop.
yeah, do that. We're not condoning it, regardless. But, so yeah. People who've watched the movie, you've had to have noticed the damn similarity between the stories of Jesus Christ of Nazareth and Robocop Alex Murphy from Detroit. I mean, alright, let's see if you can tell who I'm talking about here. A man tries to bring peace and justice to society through a way of life that many in said society look down upon. In turn, he is violently murdered for trying to uphold what he believes is right, only to be resurrected soon after becoming immortalized figuratively and physically as a savior in civilization. So, who are we talking about? Jesus. Robocop. See, it's the same thing. It literally comes down to the same thing. The stories are so intertwined with each other, and well, it makes a lot of sense. Because not only is, the whole plot of Jesus trying to bring, justice and good to this very, very destructive, very Old Testament. The Old Testament's kind of a key word here, because society back in the old days was messed up. Just read the damn Bible, the original Bible, the Old Testament, because people were belaying each other, cooking each other alive, killing their children.
You could be killed if you were in two different types of cloth.
It was messed up. So yeah, just transition that to 1980s Detroit. And well, where's the difference? There's just cars everywhere, that's it. It's the same damn story. It's the same type of setting. So seeing the similarities there are pretty much clear. But besides both having similarities in plot and setting, what else is seen in the movie? Well, thanks to the brilliant direction by Paul Verhoeven, it can even be seen in the filmmaking itself. Let's just get to the part where Murphy gets shot.
Just like Jesus, metal is drove through Murphy's hand, except instead of a big old spike, it's a shotgun shell.
Yeah, a 12 gauge from Clarence's Mossberg, and besides, just leaving a mark on his hand, it blows off his damn hand.
On top of that, Murphy is shot repeatedly, kind of like Jesus getting whipped over and over again.
And during all of this very brutal scene, Clarence's gang cackle like a pack of hyenas, very reminiscent to how people ridiculed and mocked Jesus as he died on the cross. And just like Jesus, he endures the torture for a lot longer than he should, until he is killed with a final blow. Unlike Jesus though, he is not stabbed in the abdomen, he is shot in the head. Although the spear death is also emulated near the end of the film, where Clarence tries to kill him with a spear-like piece of rebar.
After his brutal murder, much like Jesus, Murphy is taken into a dark cave, except instead of a literal cave, it's this underground research facility. Now, I think it's important to remember here that this isn't one-to-one. This thing happened to Robocop, and this thing happened in the Bible, okay? You have these corporate guys who take one of Murphy's hands, even though they say it's perfectly well working, they cut it off anyway. And then you have the criminals who drive a spike through the other hand. Murphy's being crucified by everybody in Detroit, this fucked up sort of Sodom and Gomorrah type place.
Not to mention, both of them also follow a set of rules that dictate their actions. Jesus has commandments, while Robocop has the prime directives.
Now, when thinking of the conclusion of the film, you want to remember it's Murphy without his helmet. And I didn't mention this earlier because I thought it was important to keep right here. Murphy was wearing an almost crown of thorns. His face is perfectly fine technically, but they force him to wear this helmet. It's another sort of crucifixion thing with this company. They have control over the Jesus figure, or Alex Murphy, aka Robocop.
And in all reality, when you really try to look at the movie, he also just walks on water. We can just skip all the formalities and all the, maybe it is, maybe it's not. No, he walks on water. At that point, it's pretty much concrete what they're going for. He's Jesus. But now here comes the actual part where, we've mentioned before. What makes him the American Jesus? Other than, running around with a freaking loaded handgun, blowing people away. Well, according to Paul Verhoeven, the point of Robocop, of course, is it's a Christ story. It's about a guy that gets crucified after 50 minutes, then is resurrected in the next 50 minutes, and then is like the super cop of the world. but is also a Jesus figure as he walks over water at the end. Verhoeven even goes on to say that I put something just underneath the water so Weller could walk over the water and say this wonderful line, "I'm not arresting you anymore," meaning I'm going to shoot you. And that is, of course, the American Jesus. And literally, what's more American than someone saying, "Hey, I'm going to shoot you"?
And like you said earlier, what's more violent than the United States? Well, the Bible, Sodom and Gomorrah. We looked at the statistics, and in Michigan, during the years 1985 to 1988, guys, murder, rape, robbery, assault, burglary, theft were at their highest, as in the highest they've ever been in history.
And also, by the way, if for some odd reason you don't believe us, and you don't believe the director himself, let's just drive it even farther with even one last nail in the coffin. And that is the fact that Paul Verhoeven,
He wrote a book called Jesus of Nazareth, where he essentially says that he thinks that Jesus was more like Che Guevara, who was killing all the people who were bad, like a big sort of group of rebels.
oh yeah,
That sounds a little like Robocop to me.
I mean, granted he did write this book a little after the fact, but
I think he has Jesus on the brain.
so yeah. And what better way to celebrate this man than talk about Jesus Christ in the form of a robot who goes around murdering people with a gun, but for justice.
For justice.
Well, that's the video. And again, this is an old theory, and it's also a confirmed theory, so why talk about it? Well, it is the 30-year anniversary, so what better time to talk about the movie and Jesus than now? I mean, come on.
Wait, what?
You know, the movie came out 30 years ago, and Jesus actually died in his 30s, so it goes hand in hand.
Shit.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
Pretty much.
And, there's all these people worshiping their television like it's a god, and then Robocop Jesus comes and sort of cleanses the world, false idols and all that.
I didn't even think about that, although nowadays TV's not really relevant. It's
Oh,
more
yeah.
the internet, like YouTube videos.
Worship me. Worship me.
It's like false.
I am your god.
False idolism. No, this is you can't.
The internet
don't-
is your god. I rule the internet.
No, that's you were.
Worship me.
Please stop. You're scaring people. Stop. Okay, no, just let it go. Okay, just stop. Just stop. Okay. Well, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.
I'm God.